Okay, can you just tell me a little bit about your company and where you're based?
We're based in Windhoek. All our trips operate from Windhoek and finish in Windhoek. We mainly do camping trips, and we run with a maximum of 14 people per trip. So we're 90% of what we do is camping, which works very well in Namibia. The climate is very conducive to camping. It's a good climate for that. But we do accommodated trips as well. Yeah, definitely.
And what are the landscapes like that people visit when you go around Namibia?
The landscape is something that really sells Namibia. It's, I think, it's unusual landscape. It's fascinating for geologists because of all the land formations, the rocks and minerals that can be found here. I know there's some that can't be found anywhere else in the world. So we do actually have a lot of school trips coming out, a lot of people studying, but the landscapes are just incredible. It's vast, huge areas of big emptiness, and a lot of variety in that, from the desert through to the mountains, a huge amount of variety.
Okay. And you get tourists from all over the world. Where are mostly do they come from?
Because we mainly market UK-based. I'm from the UK, and I find the marketing easy to do there. So I'd say we have more UK people visiting us, but we have a lot of English-speaking countries. And having said that, a lot of Europeans come to visit. It's easy to get here. There's one single flight direct to Windhoek, so it's one overnight flight here. So it's an easy destination to get to.
Excellent. And why do they choose Namibia?
Namibia? Namibia is a fairly new destination, and I think that has an interest value. But what we really often find is that people wanting to come to southern Africa, it's a safe destination. And it also has so much variety that there's so many reasons to come. It might just be the wildlife, it might be the geology, it might be the bird life, but there's all sorts of aspects that Namibia can offer. And also, people often come to Namibia after they've been to a different African country, and that's when they find out about Namibia, and people will say to them, you've got to see Namibia. If you like this, you've got to see Namibia, because it's different. It's different. It's not like your Kenya, it's not like your Botswana. It really has a draw card from that.
And what activities do they do while they're here?
Activities, I mean the biggest thing is probably wildlife viewing is the big draw card, but there's a lot of other activities. If you go to Swakopmund, there's activities such as skydiving, sandboarding on the dunes, quad biking on the dunes. There's the beach, so all the activities that come with the beach. So there's a lot to do.
And how does your company support ecotourism? How are you a responsible company?
Well, I think there's two main aspects, or I see it as two main ways. There's a more direct way. So when we operate our trips, every campsite we use, every facility we use, we are using Namibian people. We are providing money or work for those people. It might be a fuel station or it might be the campsite, but everything is run from Namibia, and because we're a Namibian-based company, that money stays in this company. But the other area really, which is possibly more important and goes deeper, is that we only employ Namibians, and I can guarantee that most of their pay or the salary gets split up between the families, because he or she is probably the only person that's working in that family, and so he's supporting his family, he's probably paying for his sisters or brothers to go to school. There's a whole social network out there that gets supported from his one job.
Are there regulations that you have to follow governing tourism in Namibia?
Oh yes, I mean the government has of course got regulations. The Namibia Tourism Board is now set up. I mean, tourism is fairly new in Namibia. The last 10 years there's been huge changes, and so the Namibian Tourism Board, the NTB, is set up and it's regulating. And so there's all sorts of we must comply to the Namibians, but for the agents that we use, we must also comply with the European laws, because we feel that there's no point people coming from Europe and not. So things like seatbelts in the cars. If we go into any water area, we have flotation jackets, which is extra to the Namibian laws, but we will comply to the European laws.
Okay, good. And then, what do you see the future for Namibia for tourism? Is it going to grow? Is it? What do you think? It's hard to
it's
say.
It's hard for me to predict.
Yes, yeah.
We've been here now for 11 years running this company, and in those 11 years I've seen huge growth. I'm not expecting the growth to be as big as it was, because that really was the start of tourism here. But I think that the future for Namibia's tourism is excellent. There is so much potential for Namibia. The sun shines 360 days of the year. I mean, just that in itself is enough for people to want to come out here. And I cannot see a reason for that for the people wanting to experience Namibia. I can't see a reason why that's going to stop or have a problem.